Now, one difference we have between the Suttas and the Abhidhamma is the different levels at which the Buddha taught. He taught in terms of conventional truth and ultimate truth. The conventional truth is the everyday language that we use here and now. We talk of tables, chairs. If I ask you, please, can you bring me a chair, and you pick up the table, we're going to have chaos. So this is conventional. Using the English language, we call one thing a table, another thing a chair. And that's good. Very, very necessary for everyday conventional intercourse, discussion. So there's nothing wrong with the conventional language. We talk about sunrise. See you tomorrow morning at sunrise. I think we all know what that means. Actually, the sun has not done anything. The sun hasn't risen, and it doesn't go somewhere at sunset. But for conventional purposes, very useful to talk about sunrise and sunset. So conventional truth is very, very, very helpful for normal everyday language. The Buddha himself used conventional language, which we find mostly in the suttas. When you talk about a person, you talk about you or me. He would talk about you will receive the karmic consequences of your actions. He will say, you will be doing something unskillful if you kill your mother or your father. He would talk about you should not cause a schism in the Sangha. And he would talk about I am telling you so-and-so. And that's all fine. But these are actually imprecise in that the word, he talked about a cow. We normally know what we mean by cow. But he said once the cow butcher or his apprentice has been to work, where's your cow? All you've got is a collection of bits, leg, bits of body, head, ears, tail, etc. You haven't got a cow. A cow was just an artificial construct. And in the same way, the Abhidhamma breaks down conventional truth into its constituent parts. And there are what he calls 4 ultimate truths. Citta, Cetasika, Rupa, Nibbana. Citta is divided into 89 kinds. Cetasika into 52 kinds. Rupa into 28 kinds. Nibbana is not divisible. But these are ultimates in the sense that you cannot analyze any further. You cannot go beyond these ultimates. So the whole of our experience, both in mind and body, can be explained in terms of Citta, Cetasika, and Rupa. Citta means consciousness, the act of knowing something, but it has to be accompanied by what are called mental concomitants. As I said, we're dealing in places with words that don't really have an English equivalent. These are mental qualities which arise with the consciousness. Qualities like concentration or intention. Some of these qualities are wholesome, like loving kindness and compassion. Some of them are unwholesome, like anger or hatred. So, what in conventional terms we would call mind is subdivided into Citta and Cetasika. Body, material form, is Rupa. So, what the Buddha is showing us is that what we call mind and body are not static entities. They are, in fact, constantly arising and passing away in a process of causation. There is nothing which you can point to as something permanent. So mind and body are really shorthand terms for what is in fact a fluid, changing, dynamic process. We don't normally see things that way. So the Abhidhamma is trying to teach us that things are not as we think they are. We perceive things through the fog of ignorance, and because of the ignorance, we then walk off with all sorts of wrong ideas, wrong concepts, which lead us into dukkha in various forms.